What's up, Facebook? Sunday, the Sunday sauce beanbag jamboree, as it were. What's going on? What's going on? What's up? What's up? What's up? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Thanks for being here. Appreciate it. Much appreciated. What's the good word? What's the good word? What's up? What's the good word? Yo, what up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hello, hello. Good day. Good day. Good day. Good day. How you doing? How are you? Sunday beanbag jamboree round 104. All the homies in the building. What up? What's good? What up, Jake? A-Love for life. You know she's in here. What's up? What's going on? What up? What up? What up? What up? What's going on? What up? Push past paralysis. What up, Stephanie? What up, Angel? What up? Perfectly flawed. What's good? What's going on? What's up, people on Facebook? How you doing? Top of the evening. Tip of the cap. Tip of the beanbag. Tip of the beanbag to you. Tip of the beanbag to you. What up, Courtney? What is the good word? Let's circle back. Let's not give you a straight answer. Let's just circle back. Am I gonna give you an epic meltdown tonight? I mean, I just might. I'm gonna try not to blow up my freaking blood pressure on this particular live. I'm gonna try not to blow a gasket over here because I know I have a propensity for doing that. Just gasket blowing. It's like, oh, it's Sunday. Let me just shoot my blood pressure through the frickin' roof. Pop. No big deal. No big deal. No big deal. What's going on? What's the good word? What up? What up? Just getting prepared to just absolutely lose control. No, I'm just kidding. I'm probably not gonna lose too much control. I'm probably gonna keep it at a 93. Probably not go 1,000%. Thank you so much to whoever just bought that badge. I appreciate that so much. Thank you kindly for that. Thank you kindly. Thank you kindly. Yo, it's the Beanbag Jamboree. It's Sunday. The world is garbage. The earth is trash. Everything is garbage. No one can be trusted. The news media is a garbage fire. Joey Basement is basically deceased. Currently being weekend at Bernie's through his administration. Texas is a dumpster fire. Everybody is frozen. The earth is trash. No one can be trusted. And everything is hot garbage. Yeah, I'm just gonna blow it up! Just gonna blow a gasket, cornmeal. So, what I kind of wanted to start off the Beanbag Jamboree with is, thank you, Stephanie, for buying the badge. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. Didn't even have to produce any beanbaggery to get a couple of badges sold. Ha-cha! Here we go now! I just take the $8 and just be like, good night. I just retire and just order a sandwich. I just order myself an $8.39 sandwich. The total haul from this live stream. 4 minutes, $8. Boom! When I was my first job, which I got paid minimum wage, I made like $6.90 an hour. I'll never forget it. I was printing T-shirts like a Jabron James, and I made $6.90 an hour. And if I could have known that 15 years later that I could make $8 selling badges in an Instagram live stream, yelling at my phone, alone in my house in a pit of despair, I would have told you, you're full of malarkey, Bob! I would have said, I don't believe it when I see it, Jizz! I believe it when I see it there, Corn Pop. 7 badges. Whoa! Wow, guys. Holy jambalaya. No, really, though. Imagine, though, if I just literally was like, and I'll see you guys. Like, I'm going to take the haul, and I'm going to go to Jimmy John's. I'm going to order myself a rollatini and just sit on the couch. Thanks for nothing. Peace. It'd be the last $19 I earned on here, I'll tell you that much, Jack. Anyways, I digress. The world is trash. Yo, so listen. This is a big week, Pops. This is a big week for your boy Roberto Sausalito. This is a big week in the world of Sausalito. For anybody that does not, thank you so much, Ashley, for buying the badge. I appreciate that. Thank you guys so much that are buying the badges on Instagram. It's because of you guys that I'm able to do this and able to produce more videos. So thank you guys so much for the support. I very much appreciate it. All the Venmos and the Cashapps and the badges and the whole kit and caboodle. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you for that. I do intend on bringing the heat, bringing the beanbags, bringing the Jimmy Johns for all, bringing the sandwiches for all. Thank you so much. So, in the world of Roberto Sausalito, this is a big week, Pops. And I'm going to tell you why. A couple of you people already know because you're loyal Jabrons, the best people perhaps on the planet of Earth here in the Milky Way Garbalaxy, is that your boy Sausalito, the true Sausalito, Your boy Sausalito is leaving the warm and toasty, big moisture, no chapstick haven of sunshine, the big coconuts mecca, the boating capital of the earth, for St. Louis, Missouri. What in the heck now? What did you say there, Bill? Why would you do that, Jack? What in the cornmeal would possess you to leave the Big Ron's kingdom? Oh, I gotta turn my phone vibrations off. Oh, thank you. Somebody just sent me $5. Thank you, Shalom. I appreciate that. Thank you. That's the name. I didn't just like say Shalom. Just hit you guys with a casual Shalom. Oh yeah, I'm also gonna drop this on here. Hold on 1 second now before I get cooking, before I get my blood pressure off the wall. There, beanbags. All right, here we go. Just gonna drop it on the Facebook commentary box there. Thank you guys so much. All right, great. So. Back to the regularly scheduled garbogramming. Anyways, this is a big week for the world of Sausalito, as I will be taking off on a tube in the sky to go to St. Louis, Missouri, where I am headed to First Form headquarters to be on the Real AF podcast with Andy Frisella and the gang. And to say that I'm excited, beanbags, would be an understatement, Jack. I'm going to go up in there. I'm going to be all up in there with the yelling, with the screaming. I made a custom hoodie for myself that says bag of shit. I'm going to wear that. It's going to be it's going to be great. I'm going to be all up in there yelling things, just screaming things at the top of my lungs, Pop. I'm gonna be in there. I'm gonna be in there like swimwear. I'm gonna be in there. I'm gonna ask Andy if I could have a scoop of pre-workout. I'm gonna snort it, and then I'm gonna go on the podcast and be like, "Oh, Joey, man!" I'm gonna lose my mind, Jack. I'm already heating up. I'm heating up. I'm getting sweaty. I can feel it. I can heating up. Somebody turn this fan up. The world is trash. Anywho. So yeah, I'm gonna get in there. I'm gonna take 17 scoops of pre-workout, and I'm gonna jump on the mic. I'm gonna put the headphone on. I'm gonna jump on the mic, and I'm just gonna be like, bro. And like, I'm gonna just spit the hottest of flames. Flames will be coming out of my face. I'm just gonna be like, bro. I'm gonna keep it real AF. And for anybody that knows Andy, this dude's a high energy, motivational cat. He does lots of very direct words, which I like as well. So between him and I, we're gonna be like, fucking son of a bitch! Like we're gonna headbutt each other. We're both gonna pass out. We're gonna be knocked out. The whole podcast is just gonna be us on the floor, passed out from just headbutting each other with high quality, high caliber knowledge. Like I'm gonna go in there. We're gonna headbutt. The world's gonna explode. The other two guys on the podcast are gonna be like, "What do we talk about now?" Like this guy's dead here apparently. They're gonna dump more pre-workout on my face. I'm gonna zip up. I'm gonna do a somersault in the air off the ground, flip back into the chair, and I'm just gonna be like, "Biden!" Or as soon as I get up to the mic, I'm gonna eat the mic. I'm gonna just inhale the mic. Yo, somebody just said on Facebook, please bring the glasses. That's a good idea. You see, Jack? You see? Lil Pook says bring the glasses, and that's a good idea there, Jack. It's stuff like that. It's stuff like that that keeps Sausalito on his toes. I appreciate that. That's a good tip, Jack. That's a good tip. That's a high quality tip. Just gonna say that's high caliber. Can you imagine if I just walked into the thing with the glasses on and just didn't say a word about it? I'm just like, hey, how you guys doing? I'm like, get the prescription, but they're just like not. I bought these like for a Halloween costume 5 years ago. So many people have actually messaged me about these glasses. They're like, I need to buy a pair, and I'm just like, interesting. Should I sell these glasses? I just buy like a box of 1,000 of those glasses and just write Sausalito on the side and sell them. That would be cool. That would be entrepreneurial of me. I probably would do that. Anywho. So I'm going to be on the Real AF podcast. I'm excited. I'm super excited for that. Andy is one of the most successful businessmen in America, a motivational speaker, and just like an all-around great individual from what I can see from the digital realm. And I'm just super excited and honored to be on the pod, and it's just going to be great. I'm super excited to go on there and hit at a high level and do the absolute best that I can to bring the noise, bring the funk, bring the zaps, kids. And I'm gonna leave it all on the table, beanbags. I'm gonna go in there and I'm just gonna go banana sandwich. I'm just gonna go in there hot. I'm gonna be hot, ready to go, ready to gun, ready to shoot for the moon, Jack. I'm ready to do somersaults, beanbags. Because this is the thing. This is the thing that really tickles my beanbag, twists it in a knot, tickles me pink, and shoves its thumb up my anus. Is that not only is Andy someone deserving of a great deal of respect, not only from myself, but all of you and all of you guys that have already, but this guy's a really successful dude that drops fat bombs of knowledge on the Reggie Miller. And he's just dropping all this knowledge, runs a successful business, probably does a couple $100 million a year in revenue. The guy's got successful books, children's books. It's like, this is a high operating individual. This is a person that operates at a high degree. And the types of cats that he has on his show are people that also have my respect. Like, you got Tommy Vext on there. You have an Olympic athlete that was just on a couple of days ago. And I'm sorry I forget her name. You have people that are operating literally like top tier athletes, top tier individuals, thought leaders, people that operate and run their life at an extremely high level. And I feel so honored that Sausalito can come in there and that they're interested in having me on. It's like to be completely honest with you, it's one of the greatest honors of my life thus far. And I know it's like, whatever, it's a podcast, whatever, but it's like, to get the attention of a person like Andy, who, to be completely honest with you, 7 months ago, I didn't even know who he was. But as I've done more and more research, I'm like, this guy is a machine. This guy is a machine. And it's like, to be able to earn that degree of respect to the point where he would spend time having me on his podcast and then elevate my operation and distribute my message out there is just like, it's beyond the pale, beanbags. It's like the bottom underneath part of your beanbag where no sun gets. It's like that pale. It's inside. Jessica on Venmo. Jessica, that is the largest Venmo donation I have ever gotten. Thank you so much. Wow, Jessica, thank you so much for sending that Venmo. That is literally the biggest Venmo donation I've ever gotten. Thank you so much for that. So just the simple, pure fact that like I said, that I'm going to have an opportunity to speak on this pod is just, it's next level. It's one of those things that kind of reminds me, as I was thinking about what I'm going to talk about on today's Beanbag Jamboree, is like, you know, we have this way of kind of like looking at life and being like, where am I going to go? How am I going to get there? What do I deserve? What do I deserve this position? Do I deserve that? And the reality of it all is that, like, even though this channel is relatively new, I started this channel first got its first pop on August 20th of 2020. It hasn't even been, I don't even think, it's been like about 6 months as of yesterday. And the fact that it's been able to get to this point, it's like, what I want everyone to remember and what I remember is like, it's not 6 months. It's 15 years of thinking a certain way, acting a certain way, doing things a certain way, and all of that stuff comes through in the videos. That's what comes out. I didn't just like wake up on August 20th and I was like, beanbag, jamboree, let me build a merch store. I made like 1 quadrillion mistakes along the way. Every mistake one could possibly make. And I did a ton of research and I felt a call to do whatever it is that we're doing here, yelling in my phone, headbutting the phone, screaming things, being like Joey Basement, coming up with nicknames, whatever you want to call it. But the thing that I remember is just like, one of my favorite kind of quotes is just, I forget who it is, I think it was Muhammad Ali, that said something like, I've put in a lot of time. The gist of it is like, all the time that you put in working, all the time that you put in at the gym, like all the work is done long before you see him under the lights in the ring, ready for the fight. It's like, and that's the thing that I remember sometimes, and it kind of like brings me back down to earth where I'm like, you know, you really been practicing for this type of caliber of connection for 15 some odd years. It's like, that's the byproduct of mindset. That's the byproduct of like never quitting, never being satisfied, never taking the W and being like, yep, I'm good, and just like clocking out. And as I think about this coming pod, which to me is like, in a lot of ways, like a life, like a monumental moment of life. Looking back at the book of life, it's just like, what a great new chapter that happens after this event. It just reminds me of something which I think is really important, which is just that like, mindset and not celebrating wins and always thinking about what's next and gunning for the next opportunity, for the next opportunity to showcase your greatness and to work harder for something much bigger. Is something that I'm really, that is like ingrained into my life. And it's something that Andy talks about a lot, which I think is really beneficial. So I kind of wanted to start this conversation by chatting just like a little bit about mindset and what I've been thinking about coming into this week and what I think is, I don't know, I just think that it's relevant right now. You know, usually I'm like zipping and zapping about all this other stuff, but like this has just been on my mind this week because as I prepare to be on this podcast, I've just been thinking like, how do I make the absolute most of this opportunity? How do I come on here and bring the noise, bring the funk, bring like every single thing that could ever be brought? And what I think even brought this happening in the first place is just this steadfast reminder that mindset dictates all things, that all success and all progress forward is on the other end of having a controlled mindset. And that's something that I've been thinking about a lot this week, where it's just like, I deserve to be here. I work to be here. I'm not going to stop. This isn't it. This is just a benchmark in a road to much greater things. So my words of wisdom, my Sausalito's thoughts on this bag of rice, whatever you want to call it, whatever, cool, I don't know, is just that as you approach this week, I just want you to remember the same thing that I'm trying to remember, which is that the internal battle that you have in your mind dictates 100% of what happens out here. And that thinking a certain way and acting a certain way and gearing yourself up and not being afraid to fail and not being afraid to throw shit at the wall, and most importantly above all things, not being afraid to take tremendous risk in the face of adversity, in the face of a potential failure, has been the key component that has allowed me to grow in this life, which has allowed me to get to this point, which has allowed me to have the opportunity to speak to 87 people here on Instagram at 10 o'clock at night on a Sunday, and 55 people here on Facebook at 10 o'clock on a Sunday. And I would like to hope that 6 months from now, 8 months from now, 27 months from now, that these numbers are going to be a whole lot bigger, because hopefully I'm providing you guys some value that makes you feel like you're doing the right thing by buying a badge, by firing off a Venmo to me, by attending this, and by spending your precious time on this Sunday night, not consuming something that's going to be low energy, not staying inside your thoughts and being somebody that's constantly being like, why is my situation not better? Why am I not in a better job? Why do I not have a better relationship? Why do I not have a better whatever? It's just that the thing that I've been doing gearing up for this podcast is like, I just realized that I have to have complete control of my mind. I have to have complete control of the totality of my being. And only when I do that consistently, day in and day out, especially when I don't want to do something, is going to be the defining step, the integral step to leveling up and up and up, endlessly upwards. And it's not to say that there won't be challenges, and it's not to say that there won't be roadblocks and obstacles and obvious failures. But the greatest risk is not taking one. The only failure is in giving up. And Andy talks about this a lot, which I think is amazing. Is he's just like, there's no such thing as failure unless you quit. The only failure is quitting. It's all about learning. It's all about getting up next to the next level. It's about not being afraid to eat a shit sandwich for a really, really, really long time. And I think that this has been the mindset that I've been thinking about this week as I go into this process, where it's just like, how much mindset has dictated even getting to this position. So thank you Britt, for the badge. I appreciate that. And to everybody that's been buying badges and sending Venmos, I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you. But the thing is like, the thing that I'm always reminded of is just like, when you think about something that you're gonna do, if you reverse engineer that back to your day-to-day life, it's like, does this contribute to me operating at a high level, or does this detract from me operating at a high level? And that's why I've talked about it multiple times on here about weed and smoking weed. I used to smoke back when I was 19 years old. I probably smoked conservatively 5 blunts a day. Literally 5 blunts a day. When even as early as 7 months ago, I was probably smoking at least 3 blunts a day. For whoever doesn't know what that is, that's a cigar gutted out and filled up with marijuana. I probably smoked 3 blunts at least every single day, 7 days a week. And what I didn't understand is that it dismisses responsibility. It dismisses the need for discipline in your life, because you allow yourself to spiral through thoughts without an executable. There is no executable. You're here just cooking all these ideas, and you're cooking through your mind and all these thoughts that you want to do. All these millions of these great plans. But as you cook through these plans, you're not executing them. You're not making a plan, and you're not putting into action. I'm not saying stop smoking weed if that's what you want to do with your life. I'm certainly not going to come in here and rain down blows on people that smoke weed. But I'm just saying that when I stopped smoking weed, it opened 2 hours a day of my mind up to operating at an extremely high level. And once I started to reach that level is when all of those things transpired that had taken decade and a half to cook up. All of the things that I could have never been able to imagine myself having the opportunity to do came to fever pitch at the very fucking moment that I started really operating at the highest fucking level. And that was the thing about weed smoking that really fucks me up, because I think about it now and I'm like, I stopped smoking weed in fucking July, and 1.5 months later, I made a random video on my Instagram when I wasn't fucking high. I yelled into it about the DNC. It got 60,000 views overnight, and I quite literally created this whatever, project, opportunity, career, whatever the fuck you want to call it, was literally created within a 50-day span of quitting smoking weed every day. And I'm not attributing it to just weed, but what I am attributing it to is super high operating mindset. The ability to operate at an extremely high level. The craziest thing about smoking weed that fucked me up, that I didn't understand, is that while you're high and the following day after, instead of your ideas connecting like this, your ideas connect like this. They're touching and the information can still pass through, but it doesn't fire through. So when you call on your mind to go deep into discipline, to go deep into having the right mindset, to go deep into having self-control, to go deep into being able to operate at the highest caliber that you have within you, weed has this weird way of just not allowing you to get there as fast. You're not as sharp. You're off by a second. Think about it playing baseball. If you're off by a fraction of a second, or think about it playing golf. If you're off by a fraction of a degree, instead of the ball going down the fairway, the ball goes off into the rough. Instead of you hitting a home run, you hit a triple, you hit a double, or you strike the fuck out. The slightest difference, the 1% difference between operating like this and operating like this is a lifetime of opportunity. And it took me the longest time in life to realize the significance of that, and to realize the significance of a single thought, to understand and recognize the value of an individual thought and how crucial that thought is to the totality of your entire life. The totality of your entire life is ultimately dictated by a single decision, a single thought, at a single moment. All things for your entire life circulate around a single individual thought. You have a thought one time and you go, I should do X. And the remainder of your life is infinitely altered in all directions from a single thought. One thought. So I made a video a couple of weeks back where I was talking about how if we understood the power of a single thought, we would change the way that we think. Yo, that's probably one of the most epic things that's come out of my freaking that come out of this beanbag spitter in recent moons, cornmeal. And that's the type of shit, that's the type of level and degree of operation that one hits when they're not fucking high. And I'm not demonizing being high. What I'm demonizing is lack of discipline, dismissing outer responsibility by saying, I had a long day, or I'm tired, or I'm upset, or I'm mad, or I'm whatever. I want to smoke weed to give away the responsibility for mitigating this process to some external. Oh, well, I can't do this. I'm just going to smoke and it'll put me in a better mood. No, you got to figure out how to get in a better mood on your own. That's the whole point. That's a detractor to your energy. That's a detractor to your progress. That's a detractor to your ability to operate at a high level. Think about where you want to be in life and the top tier of success, the greatest version of you. What does that person do every day? For the fucking longest time, I dismissed this responsibility and I was like, well, I'm too busy. Well, I have X. And it's just such a load of bullshit that we fucking serve ourselves and eat day in and day out. These excuses. Tony Horton says excuses are self-imposed obstacles that prevent you from having a better life. And that is exactly what we fucking do. We create these obstacles in our mind that we put right in front of ourselves that hinder our ability to move forward at an expeditious rate. And this simple thought, this simple roadblock that we create for ourselves, this simple excuse is the difference between tremendous, unforetold, and unforeseen greatness and mediocrity and perpetuity till the end of your life. That's the shit that fucks me up. That's the shit that makes me want to zap and execute like the craziest motherfucker to ever do it. That's the type of shit. You want a fucking jet? You want a house on the fucking beach? You want to fulfill yourself? You want to fulfill your personal legend to the top, to the tip top of what you're capable of doing? Yo, you need to fucking lock this shit up. That is the craziest thing, and I've been thinking so much about this lately, and how in control of your mindset day to day, the internal battle with yourself. You have to be able to control that. And if you can reach these extremely high levels of high operational success that is far beyond what most of us can even fathom. And that you certainly cannot fucking fathom if you are disabling your ability to function at a high level with weed and with other things. Okay? So whatever. Again, I don't mean to beat the fuck out of weed. I'm just saying that is just one such example. So it's like, all right. So then I think about this podcast. I think about how I'm going to be on this podcast. And it's like, this guy's one of the top motivational speakers in the fucking world. One of the highest paid motivational speakers in the world. Why the fuck? And this guy's got Olympic athletes, titans of business, people that operate with a level of discipline that is fucking top shelf, top tier. Not in the fucking United States, not in the central United States, on the planet, existing, living and breathing right the fuck now. And I'm gonna be on this shit. I'm gonna be there in that fucking seat. That's where I'm about to be. How the fuck did I get there? That's the whole point. Because, and I can't speak for Andy, and I'm going to find out when I'm there, but the point is that what I believe is that people that operate at a high level have the ability to spot and recognize people that operate at a top tier degree. And that's the type of shit that I've been focusing all of my time and attention into the last 6 months as I try to execute on this, the greatest plan of all time, the greatest project that I've ever taken upon myself, the most difficult, but perhaps the most rewarding, the most beneficial, the most macro impact thing that I've ever done in my entire life. It's one thing to run a small business. There's nothing against small business. It's another thing to thought lead a gigantic mass of people and sway the way that society thinks. That's the type of shit that we are all capable of. That when I think about why I'm about to be on this, it just blows my fucking head apart. And like one thing that Barbara Corcoran from Shark Tank, one thing that she said is she's like, one of her best advices or best tips for career. Well, she talks about how when she used to go into a real estate room with nothing but guys, she was like, I deserve to be here. I deserve to be in this room right now. I fucking busted my dick to get in this room. I deserve to be here. A prerequisite to operating at a high level in that environment. A prerequisite to hitting grand slams. That's the type of shit. That's the mindset that I need to be on in order to execute at a high level to crush this thing. That's the whole thing. But it's not just this pod, and it's not just this week, and it's not just tomorrow. For everyone out there, the answer to all things, the solution to all problems, is pure and simple domination of your internal voice and controlling your mindset so that you can hit at the highest degree imaginable and never settling and being satisfied with that degree of greatness, because there's always more, there's always higher, there's always a top tier that you're missing out on and squandering by smoking it away, even if for only 1 hour. And that's the thing about weed that fucked me up that I didn't realize until after I stopped smoking weed. Is that like those 1 hour, that 1 hour a day, that 2 hours a day, that 3 hours a day, whatever you want to call it, 3 hours a week, multiply and extrapolate that over years, over months, over decades. Think about the amount of time, the time loss, the health loss, the thought loss, the high operational loss. All of that loss compounds over itself. If you get 1% better at something every day, you're 37 times better at something by the end of the year. 37 times by moving 1% a day. Now imagine the reverse of that. Imagine going down 1% a day. Imagine smoking away that 1% of opportunity. In economics, they call it opportunity cost. An opportunity cost is what could have been had you not done something else. And that's the thing. The opportunity cost of weed, the opportunity cost of low discipline levels is the difference between people that execute at tremendous degrees of greatness. Now, if you don't want to get there, if you're not interested in that, if that's not your goal, if that's not the trajectory that you want to travel in life, okay. But I'm saying when I look at life, I look at it like this, and you could do whatever you want with this information. I look at the world and I say, okay, I was born in 1987. I'm here in 2021. I have the most access to communication of any time in human history ever. I have a camera in my pocket at all times. I have this distribution factor that allows me to work from anywhere at any time in perpetuity for the remainder of my life. I was born in the United States. I speak English. I come from a good family. I have a good head on my shoulders. I have money in the bank. I have a car outside. I have a roof over my head. I have food in the refrigerator. All of these things, right? It's like, okay, so if I don't take this gift of life, this gift of even being on earth, forget the rest of the stuff, but just the simple gift of being alive. And if I don't operate at the absolute top tier of my capacity, I'm doing a disservice to whomever the fuck put me here. You feel me? It's like, I could very easily move to Costa Rica, open a surf shop, and surf every day. You could do that, and there's nothing wrong with that. But the way that I look at it is just like, I have this gift of being alive. I have the ability to do this, communicate to a macro level. I have the thought process in my mind where I want to operate at a top tier. I want to be the greatest to ever do it. I want to have legacy, right? I want to leave some type of legacy in goodness, in greatness, whatever you want to call it. But I don't want to leave this earth knowing that I had every advantage in the world and I fucking squandered it. Or I squandered it in self-interest only, that I didn't reproduce that outwardly to help other people get lifted up. Because that's the key to humanity up until this point, is people that have executed at a high degree, spread that around in terms of money, in terms of opportunity, in terms of connections, in terms of whatever. And it's like, do I want to be somebody that operates and moves things at a high tier? Or do I want to be someone that just floats through? That just floats through and just does what I got to do to take care of mine, and then that's it. And not everybody's going to have that same belief. But in the event that you have that belief, in the event that you have that feeling in your soul, for you to not act upon that is a disservice to your capacity. And that's the thing that I've been thinking about a lot lately, is like, it'd be one thing to be like, all right, I'm going to make $5 million, then I'm going to retire and fuck off. And it's like, it's another thing to think, like, when you think about all the bad people in the world, or the people that have money in the world that don't, and you got people starving in the streets, and it's like, well, how do I fix this? Well, here's the answer. You can fix it. And it's this dismissive attitude that we have in our mind where we're like, well, I have X problem. Roadblocks. Artificial roadblocks we place in front of ourselves that impede our ability to mentally put ourselves towards a position of tremendous execution, of tremendous success, to be the greatest that ever did it, to help the most people imaginable. Do you think if Tony Robbins thought 40 years ago that maybe I can't do it, I don't know, I don't see the path? Think about the millions of people that Tony Robbins has helped. Think about the millions of people that Tony Robbins has helped. Think about all of those people and the ripple effect through the whole mass of society that a single man, a single human being, a single thought had on the world at large in perpetuity for a lifetime. Think about the capacity of that. Think about Tony Robbins being 17 and be like, I'm about to do this. I'm about to fucking execute higher than has ever been executed in my mind. I'm going nuclear. I'm going to the moon pop. This dude thought that way, executed that way, moved the needle that way, and now decades later has helped hundreds of millions of people across the world, and his content will live in perpetuity until the end of time. Think about the magnitude of how that began at one single individual thought. That's fucking insane. That is fucking insane. Okay? So that's the thing that I've been thinking about lately, is like, think about the macro impact of a single thought. And then after all that, after all this awareness and all this understanding of the great significance of these individual thoughts, you're going to smoke 2 hours of that away? You know what I'm saying? You're going to burn it? It's like, fuck. I can't imagine where I would be if I stopped smoking weed 5 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about regret, because I'm happy with all the progress and it needed to be the way that it was, and that's how it is. But dude, the macro impact of a single thought is so profound. It is the most insane shit to ever be done. All great things began individually as a single thought, one time, one moment, one day. That's where they began. All things forever. All things since the beginning of time. How nuts is that? And then I'm going to take my day, I'm going to take my fresh mindset, my high operating mindset at 2 p.m. on a Sunday. I'm going to be like, oh, I can't do this. It's like, bro, like, talk about a squandering of opportunity. Talk about a squandering of high level operation. That's the type of shit that separates the men from the boys. That's the type of thing that separates the greats from the middle. That's the type of thing that makes you a 1%er, a 2%er, whatever you want to say. That is high level operation. That to me is like, if we could all just look into that direction, if we could all just so purely just think on that level, just cook our mind into that way so that we beat the war, fight the war with yourself, fight the battle with yourself. That's what Andy says in his book. It's like, imagine what you could do. Imagine the degree of greatness and goodness that you could create for the world. That's crazy shit right there. That's mind-blowing stuff. I gotta stand up. So, that's what I've been thinking about. Is like, so it's like, as I came to do the pod, or whatever the fuck this is, yelling into my phone alone in my office while my dog snores in the back, is like, it's one thing to bring some jokes, it's another thing to bring some impact. And I was like, I was in the shower and I'm thinking about, like, what could I talk about? Like, what? All right, everything is trash. The world is garbage. Biden's a piece of scrapnel. You know, they're fucking everybody. They might be using weather modification to fuck people up and kill people. It's like, this shit is crazy out there. It's fucking so crazy. So, considering that that's the case and it's going to be that way and remain that way in perpetuity until some, all, most, whatever of us step up and make a change, we're fucked. I'm sick of saying that we're fucked. I'm sick of saying that this shit is out of our control. I'm sick of sitting on the sidelines while these tyrants fuck people up. So it's just like, how do I do that? And like, again, Will Smith said, you don't build a wall by setting out to build a wall. You build a wall by laying one brick as best as that brick can be laid. And then you get another brick and you lay another brick. And the best that brick can be laid. And eventually you have a wall. So when I'm looking at life today, the day, whatever you want to call it, I'm thinking about it like that. It's like, all right, these motherfuckers are corrupt. These people are fucking leading people astray. People are depressed. People are at home. Their kids can't go to school. People are wearing diapers alone outside in fucking nature. What the fuck is happening? And I'm sick of sitting on the sidelines and watching this country that I love so much, and quite frankly, this world that we live in, and all these amazing, beautiful people that do so much great shit, just getting stuffed into a garbage can because these people that are supposedly appointed to lead us are just fucking shitting on us. I'm so sick of fucking waking up and looking at these news articles and being like, these pieces of shit, every fucking day, they just fuck you right in the face. It is so discouraging. And I'm just like, I can either sit here and complain for a lifetime and rail about these people online and talk about it on my phone and fucking scream into my camera, or I can do something about it. And when I look at the doing something about it, I look at that as the brick wall. All right, I gotta build this wall. All right, what am I gonna do? I'm gonna lay one brick at a fucking time. And that's the type of shit that I'm trying to do on here. I'm trying to keep you interested by making it entertaining. I'm trying to lure you in by making it funny and enjoyable. I'm trying to make it funny, but then I'm also trying to hit you with as much knowledge as I can, to thought lead as best as I possibly can. Because to be completely honest with you, and I think I would have bet that a lot of you would probably agree with this, you may not have found me if I was just on here being motivational. There's a lot of people that motivate, that talk about a bunch of good stuff, but you probably would not have come on if I was purely that. Because you were looking for relief. You were looking for some solace. You were looking for some peace and some way to laugh through this bag of shit, right? So I got you in. I used the Trojan horse of comedy to get inside the walls, and I was like, yo, here's some truth. Yo, here's some facts. Yo, here's some motivation. Yo, here's some knowledge. Yo, buy some stocks. Yo, get your credit fixed up. Make sure your bank account's in order. Make sure your head's in order, right? Had I come in the other way, I don't know that I would have gotten in. I think about that often. I don't know. I'll put down I have a standing mat that's nice and soft, and I can stand on this mat. So, and I bet you guys would agree. I bet you guys would agree that that's probably the case. So again, it's like the other thing that I realized is like one of the hardest things when you set out to do something is this lack of a visual confirmation or an external confirmation of what is possible, right? Like for the longest time, and I've said this on some podcasts before. Thank you for whoever just bought that badge. I think that was Miss Jade. Thank you so much. Is that when there's no external confirmation that such a thing can exist, or that such a person exists, or that someone's doing it the way that you think that you're about to do it, or you want to do it, or you can do it, it's hard to set off on a path because you're like, wait, who's the motivational So I didn't set out to do this, but I always thought, like, I gotta find a way to thought lead. I gotta find a way to be motivational and use all of these attributes, and also have fun with it. So it was like I just wasn't sure what it would look like. I wasn't sure how it would happen. So the point is that not seeing some visual representation or some person that's executing on the thing that you want to execute on or doing the thing that you want to do is not necessarily always a sign that there is no market for it. I would wager that that's the type of thing where who was Tony Robbins before Tony Robbins? Yeah, there's Zig Ziglar and there's a bunch of other people, but who did it like Tony Robbins? Who executes at that degree? Who does it? Who's the Tony Robbins? It's like, it doesn't always have to be that way, and that's just something that I've been reminded of lately, where it's just like, you have to be the greatest to ever do it at whatever it is that you set out to do. And then there is no replacement. There is no other you. You're it. That's the game. So that's something that I've been thinking a lot about lately, where it's just like, who is Bobby Sausalito out there? Nobody. Me. That's what I'm going to do. I don't know how it's going to play out, but I know that this is what I want to be doing. And that simple, pure fact alone, and that I'm working really hard to execute on it, is probably the reason that it is working, at least right now. And will I try to figure out ways to make it work in perpetuity forever? Hell the fuck yeah. So it's just like, cool. Thought, execution, operating at a high degree, enhancing the ability to process information quickly, being disciplined, executing at a high level. It's like we all have that capacity. The question is like, what did you do about it today? What did you do about it yesterday? What are you going to do about it tomorrow? Because I am not excited about continuing to sit on the sidelines while these supposed leaders literally clap our cheeks every day. It's fucked up. And I'm sick of being on the sidelines. And some people are like, run for office. Okay. And maybe that's in the cards, but I'm trying to think bigger than that. Because it's not just about the United States. It's also about the world. If I was the senator for Florida, you know what I mean? It's like, I'm trying to think higher than that. I'm trying to think ripple through the fabric of humanity, right? Maximum benefit, macro impact. That's just the tip that I'm on. I don't know. Whatever. And hopefully I'll be able to look back on this video one day in the future and be like, hell yeah, this dude's got the right thought process. This dude is executing, right? And I think that, and like I said, I can't speak for Andy, but I believe that was the reason that he probably asked me to go on there. Because you can identify that in others. And maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. Maybe he just thought the videos were funny. Maybe he's like, this guy's a chooch, put him on. I don't know. Who knows? And I'll find out. I'm certainly going to find out. But as I prepare for this, I'm just like, you deserve to be here. You can execute at a high level. And I think that it's a great lesson for everybody, which is just like, are you happy with your life? Are you happy with your car, your house, your friends, your friend group, the people that you see on a day-to-day basis, your socioeconomic status, where you live in the world, what you do day to day? Are you satisfied with those things? Because if you're not, then it's like, let's get to work. I don't know. That's just the tip I've been on lately. So, with that being said, that is kind of like my general message, is that, of course I missed that, is that we all have this capacity. We all have the ability to operate at this extremely high level. And I think that the difference between good and great is simply first having that mindset, understanding the significance and power of a single individual thought, and executing it day in and day out, and knowing that you deserve to be there, you deserve this position, and knowing that you're going to work harder the second that it ends. And the second you get through this milestone, you're already looking for the next one. Because that's what I'm on. I'm thinking about this podcast. I'm like, yo, what's the next one? Like, how am I going to get on again? How do I leave an indelible mark on these people that says this guy needs to come back? We got to get this dude back. How do I get Tony Robbins to see that, to be like, yo, this dude's on one? I don't know. That's the mindset that I have to go into this thinking with. Otherwise, I'm leaving it on the table. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm leaving gas in the tank without pushing it to the end. And that's kind of like the lesson I've been on this week, the piece of wisdom, whatever you want to say, that I wanted to impart on you guys tonight. Just cause I was like sitting here trying to think of Joey Basement jokes, and I'm like, this is what I'm on right now. That's what I'm going to talk about. I don't know. Less people going to be in the room? Maybe. Less people going to watch the video? Maybe. It doesn't matter, because if it affects one person positively, that's a real outcome. That's a real true outcome. So that's all. Anyhow, so crucial, and what has been key, at least for me, is making sure that it's fun. And that was the part that I didn't account for before I started this channel. Is like, I gotta be having fun. Like, when people see me, I want them to want to like make me laugh and laugh. I want to enjoy it, right? That's the kind of like the main piece of life, where it's just like having fun and enjoying it is the key. So it's like, we don't have to be in this rigid box of motivational, political, whatever you want to say. It can be mindset, it can be positivity, it could be success, it could be motivation, it could be humor, it could be all those things rolled in one. That's the way that I live my life day to day. When I consume content, I'm not just watching comedy or just watching motivation or just watching mindset or just money or just economy. I'm watching and consuming all of these things. And that's the thing that's so awesome about each and every one of us, is our own unique take on the game, our own unique take on the world. There is plenty of room for 500 Bobby Sausalitos. There's plenty of space for that. And that's the cool thing, is just like, I hope that more people take this type of knowledge and this type of mindset and this type of execution strategy and say, what is the highest thing that I could ever do? What is the top tier thing that I could ever achieve? And what am I doing right now to achieve it? And you don't have to move 100% in a day. You got to move 1%. How do you change a single behavior? How do you make a new habit? How do you change a behavior that allows you to operate at a higher tier? How do you move forward one step, one single percent today, tomorrow, the next day? And how do you make it so habitual that it makes you feel weird when you don't do it? That's the type of way that I feel like about the gym. When I don't go to the gym, I'm like, wait, what? Like, I'm just like, what did I not do today? And it's just like, just the discipline of going, the discipline of being there, showing up, being consistent, working harder, seeing progress. All of that stuff is so crucial, such a crucial element to just executing at the highest level. What would the highest version of yourself do day to day? What would they have for breakfast? What would they have for lunch? What would they do? What would they think about? How would they operate? How would they move through the world? What would their house look like? What types of clothes would they wear? What type of haircut would they have? What's the type of thing that they would do day in and day out to execute at that high level? And am I doing it now? Am I executing on that vision right now? Can I visualize it? Did I take the time to visualize it? What am I doing with my available time? My precious gift of time here, what am I doing? The thing that really kicked me into gear the most, or not the most, but one of the things that really kind of lit me up is I was listening to Ben Shapiro and Steven Crowder every day. And I remember one day I looked up Steven Crowder's age, and he is the exact same age as me. He might be 1 year older. I'm like, this guy has 5.8 million followers on YouTube. He's getting hundreds of millions of views. This guy's built a studio. He gets to do this thing every day and have fun and talk and be a thought leader and changing the way that I think and the way that I move through life. And I'm like, this is inspiring. This dude is my age. What am I doing? It's just like, that's the thing. It's like, you could accumulate money, you could accumulate things, you could accumulate a position in your company, but like, are you at that, are you mega, you know? Like, are you going mega? And that was the thing that I felt like I was finding myself in a consistent flow where I was like satisfied but knew there was more but didn't know how to get there. And the difference between knowing how to get there and getting there is nothing more than a difference in mindset. The belief that it exists, the belief of its capacity, the consistent forward advancement towards more things. The risk, the taking and execution of risk. And that I think is the most important lesson of the day, is the lack of fear of risk. That has been the greatest thing that, like, whenever I've been at a stagnation point, it has been my hesitation to risk that has held me back from moving faster at a more expeditious rate. Is just having hesitation to risk. Well, I have X dollars in the bank. Do I really want to? Do I really want to create more work for myself? Do I really want to put that type of cash up? Do I really want to buy that thing? Do I believe in that? I don't know. That hesitation, that split-second hesitation can be the difference between executing at something and then propelling yourself forward. And that has been something that I've been learning in life, is like my ability to move quickly through the fear of failure, quickly through the intake of risk has been a crucial element of me leveling up to the next position. It's just like, risk. Bring the risk. Financial risk, mental risk, time risk, thought risk, stress risk, whatever you want to say. But it's like, if you're not moving things and things are not moving while you move, you're stagnating, you're stuck. And that's the thing, is like, I look at, like, I've talked about financials and stuff before, and I've told people, like, I look at my bank account every day, and I'm like, all right, I'm up, I'm down, I'm up, I'm down. And it's just like, where's my income? Where's my cash flow at? How much is coming in? How much is going out? And my account's going down or my account's going up? And one of the things that I think helps, that makes a lot of people spiral out of control, is when their accounts are consistently going down. You lose a big account, you lose a big client, you lose an income stream decreases, something like the clandemic comes in and just claps your cheeks, and you get pegged down a notch. In all of that adversity, in all of that challenge, is the greatest opportunity to take leaps forward. When you have the self-discipline to unload more risk at these times of uncertainty, is the difference maker in how quickly you'll be able to progress once that roadblock has been conquered. Once you've stepped over that barrier and started to move forward, you'll be thanking yourself for the positions and the moves that you made while your back was against the wall, while you were at a position of adversity, while you were in a place where you thought, I shouldn't take any more risk on. I need to protect. I need to cover my house. I need to collect all my nuts for the winter. It's at those moments, the decisions that you make will progress you forward a lot faster, should you be willing to take on that risk and deal with it. So that's something that I've been thinking a lot about lately as well, is just like advancing forwards through uncertainty with a unwavering confidence that no matter what, I'll make it through, is a requirement of progress. Oh, I should have written that down. I'll write that one down. I don't even know what I just said. That just came out of my heart. I don't know. But whatever I just said, write that shit down or listen to it again. Play it back. I don't know. But that is true. It is a requirement of progress. It's just like, I'll get through this. I will navigate this risk, and I will execute, and I will at the very least learn. If it fails, it's a learning opportunity. If I lose, it's a learning opportunity. If I get pegged down a notch, it's a learning opportunity. No matter what the outcome is, it's a W. No, so long as it doesn't so long as it doesn't make your confidence and your disposition to the game that you're playing, as long as it doesn't change that disposition, as long as it doesn't change the way that you move forward and your ability to navigate the next problem, then it's a win. It's always a win, no matter what. Even a loss is a game. Even a loss is a game. It's always a W because you learn something from it. So that's why the ability and the propensity to take on risk when you're not fucking sure is a requirement of progress. Without it, there will be no greatness. Without it, there will be no execution at a high level. Without it, you'll never be able to reach the top tier of what you're capable of doing. It is the people who take the greatest risks, that navigate those risks day in and day out, that operate when their back is up against the wall and progress through it. They get better at it. You deal with it. You mitigated this amount of risk at this time when it was hard and you made it through that. Imagine when the next one's coming, because it's coming. It's most certainly going to come. The next challenge is right over the horizon. So it's just like you got to plow through this one to get to the next one because it's coming no matter what. So that's the thing, is like I've just been thinking a lot about that. Like I was about to make a fairly sizable investment today, and I was like, how do I approach this? What do I do? And I'm just like, I got to just do this. I feel it. I'm doing it. I'm going for it. Let's go. Let's go. And like, no matter what, I have to remember that if I lose something, what do I lose? It's just a little bit of time. It's just money. It's just whatever, but it's going to be a W. It'll be a game no matter what. If I get clapped by it, all right, I made a mistake. Now I learn. I do the next one better. That's the game no matter what. I'm always ready to operate at a high level. I'm not afraid of failure, and that is the key. That has been the key. That I believe is the key. And I think that those types of things, being able to front load risk and bring it into your life and force yourself to overcome it, to put yourself up against the wall, is just crucial. So that's my thought. I hope that provided you some value. So with that piece of motivational chat going, I'll take a couple of questions. I see a couple of questions came in on the that came in on Instagram. I see a couple of questions came in on Facebook. If you have any questions, drop them in the chat. I'll answer a couple of questions. So the 3 questions that came in on the gram. One is, what kind of job did you do before this? What's the job that you did before this? I've been a web developer for 13 years. I built websites. I did online marketing and web development. That's what I did. Thank you. I appreciate it. So I'm just very, very excited. And again, it's like, I think about, it's like, thank you guys that are saying thank you in the chat. I appreciate it. Thanks so much. Thank you, Jen. Thank you, Dawn. Thank you guys so much. And a big shout out to all the people that have been buying badges on the gram. Miss Jade, Casey Marie, Life After Breast Implants, Britzy Wolf, Hello Kitty, Jake, Megan E. Smith, Jen Lee, S Guns Blazing, Ashley Joe, Arjons, A Love for Life, Love My Joy, Take Two, The Real Emily Hayes, I Can't Find My Wallet, Stephanie IE, and the Megan Hayward. Thank you guys so much for buying the badges on Instagram. I appreciate that so much. Thank you to the people that sent in the Venmos. I appreciate that. And to the Cashapp donations. Thank you guys so much for that. I really appreciate it so much. Hakanita says, do you own your own house? Yes. Yeah, I bought a house 8 years ago. And it's almost tripled in value, which is amazing. Thank you, Dawn Maureen, for the badge. I appreciate that. Yeah, bought the right house in the right place at the right time. You know, did a lot of research, did a lot of thinking, did a lot of introspective thought, made the right move at the right moment, struck when the iron was hot, took on risk. That's the thing. It's like, you know, like I made like one of the largest websites. Like I right now, one of the things that I do is I buy and I invest in websites. And one of the largest websites that I ever bought was in May of last year. And I remember just sitting to myself as I sent this wire out, and I'm like, this website costs more than my fucking car. This is as much as a down payment on a house, and I'm sending it off on this wire transfer to never be seen again. And it's like, it was just such a risky moment, yet that simple purchase has helped provide the cash flow to help finance this operation, the ability for me to do this. It's like, Bobby Sausalito did not make me a penny for the first 2.5 months, 3 months that it was online, 3 or 4 months. And then it's like I started the merch store, and then all of you guys started showing up and buying merch to support the cause. And it's like that generated enough revenue, but it wasn't enough to be a full-time job. But I was like, let me just dedicate myself to this. On Facebook, my video ads on Facebook make like a couple bucks a video. It's like it's negligible, but the impact and the things that come in when you guys are buying these badges and the people that send in the Venmos and the Cash Apps, it's like these small donations from a wide growing mass of people, these little tidbits of support, $5 here and $10 here and $1 here and $1 there, all of those amount to something that to me, I believe can be macro expanded. And it's like all of those things are all symbols and signs to me that like this is the correct direction. So that's why I'm trying to show up. That's why I'm making videos 6-7 days a week. That's why I'm trying to hit as much as I can, jump on the live streams and just gun for this as much as I possibly can. And you guys saying thanks, and the people on the comments and the chats, rewarding it financially by supporting the site, by buying merch, by sending in badges, sending in Venmos. It's like it makes all the difference, and that's the type of stuff that helps the channel continue. That when I'm like, oh man, I just spent 4.5 hours making this video and it made $4 or $2. That's the type of stuff that keeps me going, is like those little donations. So I just hope that everybody knows how much I appreciate that, and I thank you so much for those contributions. To be able to earn your hard-earned dollars is greatly appreciated. I take it very seriously, and I do not take it lightly. So thank you so much. And a lot of the people that have been buying the badges on Instagram, I see you guys buying those. I see the same people buying badges over and over again. So like I said, I'm just very humbled by it. I appreciate it so much, and I'm doing the absolute best I can to keep showing up and keep hitting at a high level, so that so I can keep this going, and do as many great things as I possibly can. So thank you guys for that. Let's see. So Sean 87 Callahan said, which comedian do you compare yourself to the most? Geez, I don't even know. Thanks, Skylar. Skylar, kid I went to elementary school with, is in the Facebook chat. That's fucking awesome. What up, man? So the question was is which comedian do you compare yourself to the most? Jeez, I don't even know, to be honest with you. I would say, if anybody, maybe Bill Hicks, because I felt like Bill Hicks said a lot of things that were just like observationally funny and comical, just in the simple statement of what they were. So I would say maybe Bill Hicks, but like I'm no fucking Bill Hicks. Like, don't get it twisted, beanbags. Like, I'm not comparing myself to him at all, but I do look up to Bill Hicks. I think that he was one of the first comedians that I felt like really taught me something. And George Carlin taught me a lot, I feel like. Just his commentary on things that were very, very real, but he made them funny just in and of themselves. I feel like I get a lot of guidance from those two people specifically, because it's like, when I watched Bill Hicks, I forget what it is. I forget his, he has this one really famous, comedy show that he did. I forget what it was called. He has a documentary. It's called America, the Bill Hicks Story. There's this one stand-up that he did in there, as far as I can remember, that I felt like taught me about life. I was like, this dude just is making me laugh and is teaching me about life. Thank you, Holly. I appreciate that. Thank you for buying the badge. I appreciate it. So that, I think, is I think those two would probably be the ones that I compare to the most. Miss Jade said, who is your least favorite comedian? Least favorite comedian. Geez, I don't know. It's like I don't pay attention too much to comedians that I don't like. I really don't think that Trevor Noah is funny at all. Like, I don't find Trevor Noah even a little bit funny. I would have to say probably, and I'm just saying him because I watched The Daily Show just to get an idea of the perspective that they're pushing at any given moment. I really don't think that he's funny. I don't think Bill Maher is funny really at all. I definitely don't think that Bill Maher is funny. So I don't think Trevor Noah or Bill Maher are funny at all. Yeah. Probably them, I guess. Somebody goes, he's a comedian. Question mark. I know, that's what I think. It's my thought. The Megan Hayward said, "Was it always a goal to hit it big on the internet and basically entertain, inform us?" I can't see the second half of the question. It says entertain and inform us as. She probably said like as the world is a dumpster fire or something like that. No, the goal. I mean, let me put it this way: was it a goal to hit it big on the internet? No. Well, here's the thing. When I was 18, and if you guys haven't watched my appearance on the Bradley Dropping Bombs podcast, I would highly suggest that you go watch it. It's on my YouTube channel. Go and watch it. I talk about when I was 18 years old, I went out on a kayak on mushrooms, and I like tried to plan my entire life out, and I tried to figure out like what am I gonna do with this gift, this opportunity, and I knew that the internet was the solution. I loved the internet just cause. And I remember it was 2006. And I just remember thinking to myself, like, this internet is going to be the game. Like, this is the game. This is going to give me everything that I want. I don't want to work with my body. I want to work with my mind. I want to be able to communicate. I want to make videos. I want to be creative. I want to make music or art or audio. I don't know. I just wanted to do something creative and fun. And I knew that the internet was going to be a vehicle, the rocket ship that would take me there. So I knew very, very early on that the internet was the answer. How I was going to utilize the internet to get what I wanted, that I wasn't sure of, but I knew that it would be the internet. I built my first website when I was like 16 or 15. No, shit, even earlier than that. I built my first website when I was 13. And the thing that really changed my life, this was kind of something that I still think about to this day. When I was 13, I broke my collarbone. I was riding my bike to the town pool. I lived in a small town. I've told this story before, but whatever. I was riding my bike to the town pool because that was how I socialized with people. We had to ride to the town pool. That's what we did. Rode my bike to the town pool, and I had a Nokia 3360 cell phone, this fucking rock hard cell phone. I had just gotten it. And this girl that I had a crush on called me while I was on my bike. And I tried to answer the phone on my bike. Big mistake. I ended up crashing my bike like into the ground. Like I just slowed down and I literally crashed. And I broke my fucking collarbone because I held the phone up to save the phone instead of my fucking bone. And my shoulder hit the ground and I broke my collarbone. And as a result of that, I couldn't ride a bike. I couldn't go to the town pool. I couldn't swim. So I was literally stuck at home. It was like the second week of the summer. It was like June 15th or 12th or something. And just like that, I'm out. I'm out for the entire summer. I can't socialize with anybody. So I was stuck at home, and I remember I would like watch TV and I would watch cartoons. And I remember I called my mom up and I would complain that there's nothing to do, like I'm stuck. And I started playing games on the computer and playing video games on the computer. And one of the games that I played was called Counter-Strike, and in this Counter-Strike game, they would have like clans of people that would like team up together and they would all play together. And it was like my brother was in a clan, so I joined the clan, and like we were all in these video game clans. And I remember one time my brother was on a website that was his clan website, and there was his name on the website, and I was like, that's fucking sick. Like how the fuck did you build, how are you on a website? How do you even get on websites? I didn't know that anybody could even do that. I didn't even know that was a thing. So I started a website on this service called GeoCities. It was on Yahoo, and it allows you to drag and drop websites. Anyway, drag and drop and make a website. So I made a website of like funny GIFs, and I sent it out to my buddies on AOL Instant Messenger, and they're like, that's hilarious, that's hilarious. So my socializing was on AOL Instant Messenger. I would make this website, and I would send it out to my friends, and they'd be like, that's so funny. So I started just compiling like lists of things, my favorite cars, my favorite celebrities, things that I liked, funny conversations that I had on Instant Messenger, and I started building this website. And when I got to school later that year, when the summer was over, I would go to school, and people would be like, yo, I saw your website, it's so funny, like, you're hilarious. And I was like, fuck. So then I would stay up late at night and I would write blog posts on my website. It was much better by the end of the summer. I built a better one. And people would be like, yo, I saw your blog post this morning. That's hilarious. And I was like, so you mean that I can create at night and then I can go into school and I will have social clout as a result of creating in my downtime. And it can be messaged out to everybody. And it was that recognition where it's like, this is powerful. I can do something once, put my heart into it, and then everyone can consume it on their own time. So that was when I recognized that the internet was going to be the instrument that allowed me to grow. Because I could just work real hard at night when I wanted to, and then it would go and do work for me. So that was something that was a huge realization for me. about the internet. So I didn't intend to get big. I just knew that the internet was a requirement in a way that I could strive to, the way that I could rocket ship to the moon. I knew that it was going to be more valuable. I knew phones were going to get better. Technology was going to get better. And I just loved it. I loved the interwoven nature of the ability to communicate with anybody in the world at a moment's notice. And I thought that that was the most compelling thing that I had ever seen in my life. It's the printing press. It's better than the printing press. There's this fucking awesome video that I want to tell you guys about. It's by this guy named Michael Wesh, and it was one of the coolest videos that I had ever seen when I was a teenager. And it was called like The Internet Is Us or something. I gotta find. That's it. Okay, it's called Web 2.0. The Machine Is Using Us. It was one of the coolest videos I ever fucking saw. And I was like, ah! And it was just like, this was in 2007. And it's like, I was already in the mix. I was already like loving what was going on online. And I was just like, this is so amazing. Like, what a compelling thing. So it's called Web 2.0. The Machine Is Us. The Machine Is Using Us. I would highly suggest you check it out. It's on YouTube. It's by a guy named Michael Wesch, W-E-S-C-H. Web 2.0, The Machine Is Using Us. Amazing, life-changing video that just talked about the internet and how it's so dynamic and how it's growing. And I was like, I need to be on this train to the fucking moon. It's amazing. It has 12 million views on YouTube. Now, it has music in it. Otherwise, I would play it for you here on the live stream, but I don't want any copyright jism to come on and just clap my cheeks. So I'm gonna not play it for you. But I would highly suggest that you check it out. Because it was very eye-opening to me at the time, and it was really, really cool. All right, I'm on drink number 3 now. Holy guacamole. Holly Werlick 85. At what point did you become really interested in politics, and how long before you got to where you were confident in posting your opinions? I really became interested in politics in 2011 or 12, because I was like, let me see. Yeah, it was 2012. It's really started in 2011. You know when it really started? Here's when it really started. It really started in like 2000, like, I'd say I graduated high school in 2005. In 2006 and 7, I was just like, I don't know what I was doing. I was in college or what, I don't know. I was in college for a very short period of time. I was living life. But in 2008 and 2009, when the economy cratered and no one had money and there was no jobs and everything was dog shit, I just remember being like, what the fuck is causing this? Like, why is everything hell? How is this happening? How am I right about to be at my core earning years now where I can really start my career, start my business, whatever, and I was starting my web development business. I was like, how is this happening right now? Like, it's such an inconvenient bag of shit time to fucking have the whole world crumble to the ground. So I remember I started paying attention to politics because I was like, this has to have some political tint. There has to be a reason that this is happening. It's not just the big, bad, very bad banks. So I just started looking into it. And it's like I did Alex Jones. I did 9/11 Truth. I did, what the hell is it called? There's this guy named Benjamin Stewart that had this movie called Kymatica, Zeitgeist. I started watching all of the... wait, can you guys not hear me on Facebook? Comment on Facebook if you can't hear audio anymore. Somebody comment on Facebook if you can't hear audio anymore. Let me know on the Facebook comments. Anyways. So I was getting really frustrated because like the world was trash, everything was garbage. I couldn't figure out how to succeed in this world where money is of no value and everything is trash and the world is garbage. And I started really paying attention to Obama. And I'm like, okay, like what the fuck? Like why is everything so dog shit? So when the next election came up, I was like, well, how do I voted for Obama because I was just like, oh, this is the right thing to do. I don't know. So by the time the next election came, I was like, we need to not have Obama. Like this dude is bad news bears. So I started listening to Ron Paul. And I thought Ron Paul was like the most reasonable cat that I had ever heard. The stuff that he was saying I thought was super top shelf. And I was like, this guy is on point. And I didn't think that Ron Paul had a chance of winning, but I was like, this guy has the right views. So I just started really paying attention to Ron Paul. I donated to the Ron Paul campaign. I started listening to him religiously, and I just thought that the libertarian view of things was the thing that aligned the most with my ideals and what I thought made sense. I considered myself to be like fiscally conservative, but not necessarily just conservative all the way through. So I really started paying attention to Ron Paul in 2012. When Ron Paul dropped out of the race, I felt very disenfranchised by that, and I was just like, ugh, whatever. So I kind of like stopped paying attention to it because it was just dominating my mind. I was listening to Jones, and Jones was pissing me off, and I was like, oh, this is too stressful. So I like took some time off of it. 2 years later, I'd say it was like 2013, 14 time, I started to realize that my unawareness of the political happenings in the world would make me not adept to how to move my money financially and grow. I was like, I need to know what's happening in politics in order to get wealthier. In order to have a good grip on money and how money affects my day-to-day life, I need to know how the halls of power are realigning things so that I can change my financial position. If I'm going to own a fucking jet one day, I need to know this shit inside and out. I need to know how the ebbs and flows of politics works in order for me to have freedom, in order for me to be truly free. I need to understand this. So I came back to it because I was like, this is a prerequisite of operating at a high level. This is a prerequisite of being truly free. This is a prerequisite of being financially able. This is a prerequisite of being a thought leader. I really got to know how to do this. So I became really interested in it. And then along came 2016, and Donnie Ballgame is in the mix. And I'm like, wait a second. Could this, like, at first I was like, this guy's a Garbaggio. I was like, this dude is not good news. Like, he's saying Mexicans are... I was just like, this is bad. Like, this dude is... I don't want this dude to represent me. And then as I watched more and more of the mainstream news, and they were hating on him and hating on him and hating on him, I just remember being like, wait a second. Everybody hates him. Everybody hates this guy. Why do they hate him so much? Why does everyone want to see this guy get destroyed? And I was like, it piqued my interest. I'm like, if everybody hates him, the easiest thing to do would be to just hate him. But I was like, well, let me affirm that I should hate him. Because if everyone hates him, that makes me wonder why he's hated so much. Especially considering that I don't trust all this bullshit that you see stirring around. I certainly don't trust it. So I was like, if everyone hates him, let me give him a chance. Let me give him the opportunity to earn my approval or my hatred. So I started looking into the policies, the positions that he took. I started watching all of the debates, and I started paying attention to all the stuff that he was saying. And it was just like, could this guy get in office? Will this guy get in office? And then when he actually got elected, it was like, wow. Like, I mean, I voted for him, but I didn't think he was going to win. I certainly wasn't sure that he would win. Hillary had a pretty compelling, media conglomerate behind her. And they certainly did their best to convince us that she was the best, but I knew she was terrible, especially considering all of my conspiracy theory days where I researched a lot of stuff. I was like, this lady is bad news. So I was paying a lot of attention to that, and then he gets elected, and then every decision that he made was blown up in the media. So I'd be like, all right, he got us out of the Paris Climate Accord. That seems obvious, right? Paris Climate Accord, save the planet. Climate Accord, like, I was like, that probably is a good thing, right? Well, let me look into why he got out of the Paris Climate Accord. So I looked into the Paris Climate Accord, and I'm like, holy shit, he's right. Wow, like, everybody hates this dude. Every single thing he does, they demonize. He's fucking right. This was the right decision. The next thing, he approved the Keystone XL pipeline. I'm like, well, what about all those Indian tribes? Let me look into this. Research. I'm like, this is good. If he doesn't have the pipe, then you got all this fucking oil and gas fucking traveling on trains and more inefficient means. Not to mention the fact that the government already approved the ability for them to put that there in the first place. And all this capital is now tied up. All these people were told that they could do it, and then at the last minute you pull the carpet out from underneath them? That's bullshit. That's not a good business deal. That's dog shit. So I was like, he was right again. And as every single decision that he made, policy decision, day to day, week to week, I'm like, right, correct. And every single thing that he did, I'm like, this dude is so on point. It's insane. I align with this decisions that he's making day in and day out more than I've ever aligned with anybody's political decisions that had actual power to execute them than I've ever seen. All Obama, all Bush, all of it. I'm like, this dude cuts through all the bullshit and operates the country like a business because that's what it is. And I'm like, this is sick. Like, what an opportunity we have for tremendous growth. What an opportunity to have a person that's actually speaking to the things that I believe in and actually executing on them. Nothing makes you feel better than a person that actually comes through with what they say they're going to do. I fucking love that. And the reverse of it is I fucking hate when somebody says they're going to do some shit and then they don't do it. Measured expectations, I think, is extremely crucial to the integrity of a person. You say what you're going to do, you fucking do it. Don't say the shit. Don't fool me. You fool me once, shame on me. You fool me twice, shame on you. You fool me twice, shame on me. That's what I'm saying. And like, I was sick of listening to people say what they were about to do and then them not doing it. This dude says it, does it. Says it, does it. Makes a promise, concludes it. Comes through on his word. Your word is your bond. Word is bond. I mean, that is so important. So it's like, if this guy says what he's going to do and then actually does it, now you can trust. Then you rely. Then you can really build rapport. Then you can really build that trust factor that I feel like is so quickly and easily lost by all of these assholes that are in the halls of power. They take your confidence, they take your trust, they take your reliance, and then they shit on it. If you were in business, you would be fucking gone. Gone patrol. You would be out of office immediately. If any business did that, you'd get clapped. Thank you, Jeff, for the badge. Appreciate that. Thank you, Jeff. So it's like, if you don't execute on what you say you're gonna do, get out of my hemisphere, fam. Like, I don't want to listen to your shit. Measured expectations is extremely crucial to me in my life. I fucking hate when someone says what they're gonna do and then doesn't actually do it. I hate nothing more than empty platitudes. Thank you, Shell11570, for the badge. Thank you so much. I appreciate that so much. Thank you. So it's like, measured expectations, I feel like, is extremely crucial, and you have a guy that actually would come in and execute on the things that he said he was going to execute on. Priceless. You need that in people. You need that in business. You need that in a public figure. You need that in a leader. You need someone that says some shit and you can rely on it. Reliance, trust that the plan will be executed in the way that it's explained. That is extremely crucial. Imagine this. Think about it like this. Imagine if I fucking told you that I was going to come on live tonight. I was like, I'll be live at 10 o'clock. And then I just didn't show up. Think about how that would ripple through your reliance. You're like, oh, I'm going to grab my favorite beer. I'm going to grab my favorite cup of coffee. I'm going to grab my favorite drink. I'm going to sit down on the couch. I'm going to watch this dude scream into his phone for an hour. What a fun bullshitty way to spend a Sunday night. It's hilarious. I rely on this. The expectation is measured that when you hit that button on my face and you make the precious decision to hit it on my face versus the next face or watch some other TV show or whatever it is that you would have otherwise been doing, that you trust that when you hit that button and you enter this zone that you will be provided with value. If I fuck that up for one time, it will ripple through your decision-making process of whether or not you are going to trust or rely on that going forward. Imagine if you had your friend like, yo, let's all get together and let's watch it on the TV. Let's pull it up on YouTube or let's pull it up on Facebook and jump it up on the TV and watch it. Because I know that people do that. I've seen videos of people doing that. Imagine if you're sitting there waiting and I just don't show up. That's the thing. That trust is built over time and it's destroyed in a moment. And that's the type of thing that I feel like these politicians do so willy-nilly. They don't care about the ripple effect outcome of us losing trust in them. They think that they could just come back and just bounce back. Oh, yo, I'm going to be live tomorrow. Don't worry about it. It's like, no, dude, no. You just fucked it up. I feel like that when people say that they're gonna come, like it's like, hey, let's meet up tonight. Let's meet up somewhere, or we're gonna do something. We're gonna go to dinner, and then they just don't. It's like, I don't ever want to make dinner plans with this person again. You fucking said you were gonna do it, you didn't do it. What the fuck? I hate that shit. I fucking hate that. It's like, follow through, you fucking chooch. Follow through, beanbag. Like, follow through, corn pop. I'm just saying, like, it's not that hard, you beanbag. Come through, jabroni. Like, is that so hard to do? You know? Reliance, trust, rapport. that building, that confidence build is extremely crucial. And that's the thing that I think is what made me attracted to the words of Donnie Ballpark. It's like, this dude says he's going to do and executes on it. I fucking love that. That's what you don't see with a politician. That's what's hard to find consistently in people. That's what's hard to find consistently in relationships. That's what's hard to find consistently in business. You do that, you get that happening consistently, then you start to trust. When you trust, you rely. When you rely, it becomes habitual, and then it's just out of your mind. I trust this person, boom. I'll trust you all the way through. Loyalty is extremely crucial. So it's like, trust, loyalty. Key. Absolutely key. Especially over time. Especially over time. Let's see. The Megan Hayward says, does that website still exist? The one that I assume you're asking about, the one that I made originally way back in the day. No, that particular one does not exist. But yeah. But like, I had some of the content for many, many years, but no, I still have it saved somewhere in my archives, as it were. But that particular website is not up anymore. The original one from way back in the day. Let's see. The Megan Hayward again says, are you artistic like with music or other art forms, or are you more structured? I can't see the end of the comment because I have the badges on, so it won't let me see it. But one of the things that frustrated me about being a web developer, like when I was in middle school, high school, I was in like an advanced art class, and I always loved art. I loved creating things. I loved color. I loved music. I always loved music, but I never really made myself to be a music producer or a musician or a singer. I never really thought that I had the capacity to do that, or that was my like calling. I love music to this day, but I never really felt like that was my true purpose in life. So I loved being creative with art, but I was always surrounded with this mentality that like, you'll never make any money doing art, and I didn't want to be broke. Thank you, Tia, for the badge. Thank you so much. I didn't want to be broke, so I was like, I need to have money. Like, I want to have money to be free. I can't just rely on being an artist. So I had that familiar mantra of the starving artist was stuck with me early on. So I was like, I got to find a way to be artistic and be creative and make money. So I was like, I need to learn and understand business. I have to be a business person to get there. And I was always creative. So I was like, how do I be a creative business person? And I loved creating. I loved color, but I loved creating online. And quite frankly, and I've said this before, and this is the God's honest truth, I loved painting, but I hated having paint on my fingers. It seems stupid. I hated having paint in my nails. Like, I loved the nature of painting, but I hated the outcome. I also hated that when a piece of artwork was done, it was just done. I couldn't move elements around. So I loved painting on the computer. I loved graphic design and moving things around. It's like, it's never done. I can turn it, twist it, change the font, upgrade it, whatever, repurpose it. It was like way more dynamic than a painting. And that's what I loved about it. So I originally was like, I'm going to be a graphic designer. I quickly realized it's really hard to make a lot of money in graphic design. You have to produce more output. So that's why I started building websites. Because I was like, I can't just be a designer. I can't just be a creative. I have to build a website and use that creativity. And my entire time building a website, it would frustrate me when people would be like, you're not an artist. And I'm like, yes, I fucking am. I'm just a business artist. I just understand function. I understand outcome and output. I understand the connection of the art and the creativity of it, and how it connects to the flow of cash and the growth of a business. So it would frustrate me all the time when people would be like, you're not an artist. I'm like, all right, what's an artist? Because I fucking don't paint. Like, I'm making something that's producing income, dog. So it always frustrated me that. So with that. Now, in this particular case, in the Bobby Sausalito project, as it were, this is the most artistic whatever, or at least what people would classify as artistic, because I'm creating nothing but pure original output. It's not for someone else, it's not agency work, it's just like pure output, straight from the whatever. So this allows me to be more creative in words, the things that I do, the merch, the website, the Instagram, and all these other things. And to me, it's like, this is like peak art, like the pinnacle of art, way more dynamic than graphics are. And it involves graphics as well. So it just matches up and aligns with all these other skills that I've been sharpening for 15 years. It's like, this was never the foreseen outcome, it was always in my mind, but I didn't know how I would get there. I just knew that I had to keep moving forward every day to try to get somewhere. And that unwavering belief that it would move forward got me here. And it's like, sure, yeah, there's 70, there's 100, there's 100, there's 105 people watching right now. That's 105 people. That's a fucking room full of people. That's a big ass room. That's multiple classrooms full of people. That's awesome. So I take that very seriously. It's like one day it'll be 50,000 or 5,000 or whatever. Or maybe it won't. I don't know. But I'm pretty sure that it will. So I like that. I'm going to keep moving forward. 100 people is 100 people. I'll take it. So I love that. I think it's, I love that I can use creativity and have fun doing it. That's it. Comedy is art, creating videos art, creating communities art. Yes, agreed. Someone said, how did I learn website design? Interestingly enough, I'll never forget it. I started writing code in HTML way back in the day. HTML stands for Hypertext Markup Language. It's the language that websites are built in. I can read it inside and out, backwards, upside down. I had a friend that built a website out of what are called tables. Tables were something that older websites used to be used all the time. Basically, it was a square that you would put content in. It's like you have the square, you align the text to the left, you use a header or whatever else, and you have these squares. And this kid that I knew, one of my brother's friends, built a website based off these tables. It was like a square line with a header at the top, block, 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 block. It was like header, body font, or body blog post, whatever. And there was no WordPress at the time. Or WordPress was not used by anybody. WordPress is a way to build websites, more modern websites now. So I asked him one day because I was so frustrated. I was like, "Can you please just show me how to use this how to make this box?" And I'll never forget it. His name was Chris Lee. He sent me one line of code, which was a code for a table with a header position, a color at the header bar, and then a wire around the outside, like a thin one pixel border around, and it was like a block. And he sent me this one block, and I used that single line of HTML code to build probably my first 20 websites, 30 websites. I built off this one single line of HTML code that I copied and manipulated and maneuvered, and just this single line taught me how it was written, how it interacts with one another, and it was essentially like the building block of like the whole empire. Came from this single line of code from this kid Chris Lee in 2003. I was like, bro, and like 10 years later, I remember I emailed him and I was like, Chris, I just want to let you know that you taking 10 minutes out of your day to send me this one, not even 10 minutes, 5 minutes to send me this line of code and explain to me how it worked, like created a career for me. So it's like, that's the type of shit, like that's the type of impact that I feel like is just so amazing. So that was like a really crazy time for me. And I was like, that's amazing, dude. Like, another fun story, when I was in high school, I don't know if this is a fun story, whatever, maybe you think it's fun, I don't know. I think it's interesting. When I was in high school, I applied for a job at IBM. There was a big IBM hub in my town in Connecticut, and I applied for a job at IBM. There was like a summer internship that was going to become a job in the fall, whatever. And I applied for this job at IBM, and my parents happened to know I just got fuzzy. My parents happened to know the woman that worked at IBM, and I had this connection with this woman at IBM, and I was like, she's like, cool, like, when can you start? And she's like, we want it to last this period of time. But anyways, I couldn't take the job because I wanted to play football. And I was like, fuck. And it was like so disappointing because it would have been a great job at this great company, and I thought, whatever. So there was this kid in my class named Craig, and he was like a super internet nerd, but like a very reliable, just really cool, quiet, introverted dude that was just a funny dude. A nerdy dude that, you know, just, I don't know how to explain it. He was just a nice dude that was very introverted and quiet and funny, but like was not the most socializing person. Anyways, I referred Craig to this job, and I contacted the woman back, and I was like, hey, you should consider hiring this dude, Craig. He's the man. Like, he has my vote of approval. I'm not sure what that means, but like, you should consider hiring Craig. This was in 2003. Today, February 21st, 2021, 18 years later, Craig works at IBM. He has worked there for the last 18 years. And when I moved to Florida, 5 years after he graduated high school, I was coming back. He messaged me on Facebook and he's like, "Yo," he's like, "Let me take you to lunch or something." I went to lunch with him, and he was like, "I just wanted to thank you for referring to me that job." He's like, "I still work at IBM." And he still works there to this day, as far as I know. I'm pretty sure that he does. And he's like moved up and up and up. He originally literally just was scanning papers, and now 18 years later he works at IBM, and he probably makes a pretty good lick of money there. Isn't that crazy? I thought that was crazy. I was like, wow, that's fucking awesome, dude. So I don't know. That's the type of shit that, you know, cool times. Anywho, yeah, it was a cool story. So, anyways, does anybody else have any questions before I get going? It's 11:21. I know I usually marathon these out for like a thousand hours, but I'm really interested in having people watch this one because I think that I was really cooking earlier, so I really want people to to watch this one, so I don't want it to be like a million miles long. But if anybody has any questions or whatever before I jump, that would be amazing if he was the CEO. Ryan says, "Did you watch Ian's new video on the weather?" Yeah, I did. His stocks alone have made him money. Yup. What's up from Sydney, Australia? What's going on? Thank you, Ray, on Facebook. I appreciate that. Thank you, Barbara. Has anyone from your past ever contacted you to tell you had a big impact on their life? I mean, off the top of my head, no, not other than Craig. But I remember there was this one moment when I was in high school. I was I think I was like a senior or a junior. I think I was a senior. Thank you, Jen. I think I was just senior or junior, and I remember I went to the nurse's office for something stupid, like cut my finger or something dumb. And there was this kid in there, and like on Fridays, the football team, we wore our jerseys, and it was Friday, and the freshmen had to wear these freshman jerseys, and I was wearing like my senior varsity jersey. And like the younger football kids, I remember when I was a freshman, we would look up to the seniors that played football, and it was like, oh, I wish I could, like, I want to be like them one day, with hard work, dedication, we'll get there. And I remember I was sitting down in the nurse's office, and I saw this kid wearing the jersey, and he wasn't going to say anything to me, so I was like, "What's up, dude?" And I just did what I would have wanted a senior to do for me in that position in life. And I was like, "How you liking football? Like, how's it going for you?" And I basically just told him, like, "Dude, stick with it. Like, you gotta stick with it. It's the greatest thing ever. It gives you camaraderie with all of your buddies. You'll get in great shape. You'll have mental toughness. You'll work through all the hard things, and like, you could win a championship." And I just was like, "Dude, you gotta just stick with it." And I believe that if I remember correctly, he told me years later that specific moment had kind of encouraged him to stick with it. And I'm pretty certain that he stuck through football the entire 4 years of high school, and it's probably, and considering that I know what that does to your life and the types of mentality and dedication that instills in a person, I think that was beneficial for his, probably greatly beneficial for his life. Somebody on Facebook, Andrew, Biden is a jabron, politics are trash, and globalism is garbage. I agree with all of that except for politics are trash. Like, I think it's trash, but we gotta fix it. It's an inevitability. Someone says, "I meet someone new on each live, and I love them more and more every day." That's awesome. Thinking of moving to Florida to be closer to my father. Where do you recommend near Cape Coral that's good for teens to grow up? That's a very specific question. I don't know. Geez, I don't know. I know that Cape Coral is near Fort Myers. So, I mean, Fort Myers is pretty nice. So, I really don't know, to be honest with you, but I would say probably Fort Myers. Jay Tarverdi says, "Marry my sister. She's really pretty." Okay. Hey, playing sports, especially football, was the greatest thing so far to happen to me for sure. Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, Naples is cool. My parents are moving to Cape Coral. Yeah, Cape Coral's cool. I mean, I'm an East Coast Florida jabron, but like Sarasota's cool. St. Pete is kind of cool. Did you go to Vegas? I've been to Vegas many, many times. Excuse me. All sports I played in high school helped me every day to this day. I just turned 30. Yep, for sure. Helped me a great deal. Taught me a lot about life playing football in high school. Big time. I'm in Fort Myers. Nice, that's what's up. Not a question. I like your new standing style. Awesome, thanks. Do you know Teal Swan? If so, have you seen her video on childhood trauma? I have seen many of Teal's videos. I am familiar with Teal Swan actually. Casey Marie says, "What best book recommendations?" I've been asked that question a few times. I don't read that many books, but Barbara Corcoran has a really awesome book that I loved. I really loved her. I listened to the audiobook because she's awesome. Barbara Corcoran has a book called, I believe it's called Shark Tales. Let me see, hold on. Barbara Corcoran, where's her book? Oh no, this is she has a, yeah, that's what it's called. It's called, she has a book called If You Don't Have Big Breasts, Put Ribbons on Your Pigtails and Other Lessons I Learned from My Mom. That is an awesome book. I would really recommend that one. If You Don't Have Big Breasts, Put Ribbons on Your Big Pigtails and Other Lessons I Learned from My Mom by Barbara Corcoran. That book was fucking awesome. There's a book called 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. I would highly recommend 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. The obvious one is The Alchemist by Paulo Coelho. The Alchemist is fire. There's a book by Deepak Chopra called Life After Death. I really like that book. Life After Death was really cool. There's a really good book by this guy named Brian Weiss called Many Lives, Many Masters. That's a fucking awesome book. Many Lives, Many Masters was fucking crazy. That was one of the craziest books I've ever read for sure. I would highly recommend that. But 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel, and then there's another one called Tribe by Sebastian Junger. I would recommend that one as well. Nancy on Facebook said, "Would you like to be married and have children?" Sure. Yeah, sure. I would be open to that. Casey, so many I wasn't ready. 0 to 1 by Peter Thiel. Many Lives, Many Masters. Lessons from My Mom, or Put Your Ribbon on Your Pigtails, whatever, by Barbara Corcoran. There's another really good book by this guy named Peter Jones that I really love. It's called Peter Jones. It's called Tycoon. Really cool, interesting, very, very basic, easy to read book about just general business. I really like that book a lot, called Tycoon by Peter Jones. That was pretty cool. Have you read 5 Languages? No. My sister says you speak her love language. Alright. Cool. That's what's up. I don't know. I'm not familiar with that book specifically, but I am familiar with love languages. I learned about that 2 years ago. Yeah, The Alchemist is fire. I really want you guys to watch this YouTube video. You really gotta watch it. I gotta watch it again myself. I'm gonna watch it as soon as I get off the live. Like I said, I don't want to risk the live being jeopardized by the music that's in it. But it's called Web 2.0. The Machine is Using Us. I'll show you the YouTube fucking thing. I really suggest that everybody watches this. Here it is. Oh, Fucking bag of rice. There it is. Hold on. That right there. Everybody go on YouTube after we get off the stream and watch this fucking video. It's really cool. It's made a big difference. I haven't watched it in such a long time, so I don't want to overpromise because I don't remember exactly what's in it. I just remember that it gave me a really good understanding of like the impact that the internet has, and I remember back in the day in 2007. Keep that in mind. It came out in 2007. When that came out, I remember just being like, "Whoa, what a crazy video!" Thank you, Lindsay, so much for buying the badge. I appreciate it. Ryan says, "Which artist would you see live first if you had your perfect choice?" I would probably see Tom Segura if it was comedy. I think Tom Segura is mad funny. Or Mark Normand. I really love Mark Normand. As far as music, I would love to see Bass Nectar again, but he canceled himself. I would love to see Pretty Lights play music again, but he's been off the train for a couple of years. I don't know where he went, disappeared to. I would like to see Closey, C-L-O-Z-E. Closey is pretty sick. I wouldn't mind seeing Ravenscoon. That's another DJ, Ravenscoon. I wouldn't mind seeing him play. I would also like to see. I would like to see Damian Lazarus. I would love to see Damian Lazarus again, or Lee Foss. Lee Foss is really good. I enjoyed Lee Foss quite a bit. Sam Felt is pretty fun. Grizz is cool. Yeah, I love Grizz. I'm a big fan of Grizz as well. Yeah, I would love to see Tommy perform as well. Like I know, I just heard about him for the first time this year through the account here, and I would love to see him perform. I think that would be fucking awesome. So that would be cool as fuck. But yeah, Grizz is cool too. I like Grizz. I disagree with Grizz politically, but I think he's an awesome musician and pretty awesome person as well. I heard he wants to come back, bro. I'd like to see Dorothy perform too. She messages me every once in a while. Should be cool to see her. What's my ethnicity? Italian, primarily 50% Italian, and then a bunch of other things. English and a variety. I want to go to a metal show. What's up, Kristen? Nick on Facebook says, as far as music, I'd like to see Trump dancing to the Village People again. I think we would all like that. Ray on Facebook says, I played basketball all through high school. Our team was terrible, but I wouldn't change a thing. The fun was priceless. Agreed. Other benefits other than winning. I saw Tommy with Bad Wolves in 2018. Nice. That's awesome. That's super cool. In Cali, waiting to see if Newcomb actually gets recalled. He is good. Well, they got the vote, apparently. Tommy says, very smart, funny, and logical, critical thinker, and have been helpful. Thank you, Tommy. I appreciate that. Thanks so much. Thank you for the love, man. Thanks kindly for that. We went to the very last Warped Tour, yes. Oh, Pretty Lights wants to come back. I hope he comes back. What's he waiting for, man? I used to love Pretty Lights. Although I was very turned off by Pretty Lights because he did this show at Red Rocks. I flew to Red Rocks for a multi-day Pretty Lights show. Flew to Red Rocks, and he was like fucked up the whole time. His whole set, he was fucked up. He was fucking up the volume. He was not changing he was like fucked up on pills or some type of drugs or something. I heard it was H-bomb, but I don't even know. Like, I have no idea, but it was one of the worst concerts I've ever seen in my entire life. And it really turned me off because he was my favorite artist at the time. It was like 2000, I want to say it was like 2014. And I was so sad. I flew out there. My buddies didn't even want to go the second night. I was like, fuck. I was so disappointed. It was really sad. It was like, I really loved Pretty Lights, and I felt like he clapped my fucking cheeks. So I felt very off by that. Grammatic is another artist that I would really like to see again. Grammatic is awesome. But yeah, I felt really bamboozled by Pretty Lights. Here's another thing. So I had a dance music website that I would get press tickets, and I would get press tickets to a variety of different shows, interviewed people like Armin van Buuren and a variety of other huge global DJs. And the only DJ that ever stiffed me on tickets that they promised that they were going to give me, press tickets, the only DJ ever that stiffed me on tickets was Pretty Lights. hundreds of tickets from a variety of different other artists and a bunch of other festivals. The only DJ, the only festival, the only artist that ever screwed me on press tickets, promised them and then they weren't there, was Pretty Lights. And I was like, dog. I was like his #1 fan. Fucking annoying. Slipknot is amazing live. Nice. I haven't seen a rock show in a really long time. The last one I saw was like, I think I saw like Muse, and I saw like Incubus. I can't remember. Nancy said on Facebook, "I loved your episode called Maybe. It summed up everything at the time." Agreed. That's like one of my most watched live streams ever. I think it has like 55,000 views on Facebook. Maybe. I started selling merch that said "maybe" on it. It's pretty funny. A bunch of people bought it. Yeah, Muse was pretty cool. I like all types of music, really. But I really just love dance music so much. Yeah, Incubus is awesome. Incubus was one of the best live shows I've ever seen. Nice. Cool. I used to listen to, my favorite song ever was called The Warmth. Experience the warmth. I thought that was like the best show ever. I loved Incubus. I thought that they were like really great. I saw like Green Day, a few others. Maybe Had My Family Crying. Nice. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Yo, big thanks to the people on oh my god. I didn't even see all these donations that people sent in on Venmo. I just want to give a quick shout out to all the people that sent Venmo and Cashapps in. Shalom, thank you so much. Elizabeth Grayson, thank you so much. Jessica H, thank you so much. Jessica H with the largest Venmo donation I have ever gotten. Thank you so much, Jessica. I appreciate that so much. Thank you kindly for that very generous donation. Thank you kindly. Michael P, thank you so much. Casey Hart, thank you so much. Matthew C, thank you so much. Appreciate that very much. And then to Crystal M, thank you kindly. She says, I'll have to circle back. Thank you guys so much for those donations on Cash App and on Venmo. I very much appreciate that so much. That's very kind. Thank you for that. And thank you. There's 23 badges have been sold on Instagram. Thank you so much to the 23 people that bought badges on Instagram. I appreciate that so much. I see you guys with the hearts on your name. Once again, thank you kindly for that. I very, very, very much appreciate it. It's so nice of you. And all the people that donated on Venmo. Fucking awesome. Thank you kindly for that. Somebody's saying March 4th, Donnie. Oh, jeez. Yeah, The Warmth, best song I've seen live. Yeah, I love The Warmth. That was like my favorite. That was my favorite song, The Warmth. I was like, this is the best song ever. I used to listen to a lot of Incubus and Linkin Park when I was in high school. I was like a big Linkin Park juge. Got a lot of rap. A shitload of rap. Nas. What's up, Jamie? Hope you're doing alright out in Big Tex. Alright, thanks, Tommy. Peace out. Nancy says, is this your first live? No. This is like probably like my 30th or 50th live. Thanks, Ryan, for the badge. Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. I know I've seen you buying them before. Appreciate that, dude. Thank you kindly for that. Appreciate that. Leela on Facebook says, love from Alaska. That's awesome. Alaska. That's cool. Nice. Billy G needs some competition. Do I remember Coolio? Yeah. I remember Coolio, but I didn't like listen to Coolio really. I think the first time I ever was introduced to Coolio was when I heard Weird Al Yankovic. He had that song called something about being Amish or something. Holly says, I'm only a year older than you. I loved Papa Roach. Yeah, Papa Roach too. I used to listen to like quite a bit of Papa Roach. Some Last Resort. Linkin Park is forever. I remember when Jay-Z and Linkin Park came out with that like crossover album. I was like, ah! It was like, that was a serious time. There's this one Linkin Park album that was like the quintessential. I remember when I was in high school before we. What's up, Linda from Seattle? Before we played football my senior year of high school, they dropped this fucking amazing album. I remember I used to listen to it before practice. I'm gonna have to bump some Linkin Park after we get off the live, and I'm gonna watch that video that I said. I think it was called. Yeah, it was called Meteora. I think that was it, Meteora. Yeah. It was called Meteora. I believe that was the one. I gotta look it up. But I think that was the one that I was like the most beneficial. Came out in 2004. Let's see. Oh no, 2002. No. Debuted March 25th, 2003. Meteora. Yeah, Somewhere I Belong. I think this is the one I'm thinking of. Let's see, hold on. Let me look at the track list. Don't Stay. That was it. That was the song. There was this song called Don't Stay. It was track 2 on Meteora. And I used to listen to that song so much. I used to bump the shit out of that. I had a pickup truck, and it had a insane sound system in it. It had 2 10-inch Alpine subwoofers and like all the speakers, the whole thing. And I used to sit in my car and blast that song Don't Stay on Meteora, and then I would go play football. And it was fucking dope as fuck. It was the coolest. All right, well, I'm about to cut this. It's 11:45 now. I'm about to. I want to cut it before the 2-hour mark, just because. So I'm gonna jump. Yeah, Korn was fucking awesome too. I saw Korn live as well. Korn was top shelf. I really loved Korn. So, yo, thank you again so much. Thank you to Levon. I just got a Venmo from Levon. Thank you, Levon, Crystal, Matthew, Casey, Michael, Matthew Cotton, Jessica, Elizabeth, and Shalom for the Venmo donations. I really much appreciate that so much. Thank you to everybody on Facebook. If you do not follow me on YouTube, please go follow me, youtube.com/Bobby Sausalito. If you don't follow me on Facebook, please go follow me on Facebook. If you don't follow me on Instagram, please go follow me on Instagram, at takenaps on Instagram, instagram.com/takenaps. Please go follow me on Instagram if you're on the Book of Faces. Follow my YouTube channel. Parler is back online. Follow me on Parler at Take Naps on Parler. I'm back on there, jamming around. Thank you guys so much. I hope you enjoyed the video that I made today. I'm gonna post this live, Carly. Thank you. I will definitely do that. And again, I want to just give a quick shout out before I go to all the people that bought badges on Instagram. I appreciate you guys so much. I'm just gonna give a quick shout out to all the people that bought the badges. Again, Big Ryan, Lindsay333, Tia, Shell11570, thank you so much. Jeff Morales, Holly Warlick, Dawn Marine, Miss Jade, Casey Marie, Life After Breast Implants. Oh, where to go? Britt C. Wolf, Hello Kitty, Jay Koch, Megan E. Smith, Jen Lee AZ, S Guns Blazing, Ashley Joe 111, Arjon 1602, A Love for Life 2022, Love My Joy Take 2, The Real Emily Hayes, I Can't Find My Wallet, Stephanie, Megan Hayward, The Real Emily Hayes again, I Can't Find My Wallet, and then I think it's like repeating them or whatever, but thank you so much to the 24 people that bought the badges on Instagram. Thank you so much. Thank you to all the people that donated on Venmo. Thank you guys so much for your time. Have a great week, and remember, mindset, high execution, wins. Don't set roadblocks. Don't allow yourself to get impeded and stopped by the roadblocks that you are artificially placing in front of yourself in life. Crush the week. Keep your mindset right. I will be flying out to Missouri this week, so keep your eyes peeled for some real AF with your boy, Bobby Sausalito. Thank you guys so much for the love. Thank you for the donations. Real AF Podcast. I'm fucking coming, dog. My YouTube name is Bobby Sausalito. It's on my website. It's on bobbysauce.com in the footer. Go to bobbysauce.com. You can find it in the footer, or go to bobbysausalito.com, and you can have all my links there. The Facebook group is there. If you guys are not in my Facebook group, go and join the Facebook group, facebook.com/group/we take naps. Go join the Facebook group. We got to get everybody that's on here on the Facebook group, everybody that's on here on Facebook, get you guys in the Facebook group. Get on YouTube, follow along. Like my videos, make some comments, share them with your friends. I appreciate it. You guys are crucial to the growth and the success. If you like the channel, please give it a like, give it a share, repost my story to your page. I appreciate you guys so much. Thank you kindly. To everybody on Facebook, thanks for watching. I will see you guys tomorrow. You know I'll be coming out with a video tomorrow. You know how I do it. All right, peace out to Facebook.